sometimes setting up is less important than taking a shot. Early this afternoon, I'd been at Sandgate photographing shorebirds. Didn't get that many, but it was nice being out there. And I guess I stayed out there a little bit too long. Whatever, it is what it is. And I came down to Brighton Park here just to see if there was any shorebirds here. I got a couple of oyster catchers. Then I decided to walk all the way down here. There's a little creek here that just runs into the Pine River, and the sun was just shining on this mangrove tree here. The tide's coming in very quickly now. It's a big tide. I said like, oh, okay, birds are finished. I went back, got my gear, and by the time I got here, there was just a bit of light on this mangrove tree. You can see there's no light now. The sun's just about set, but I want to show you why sometimes just being in the right spot, it doesn't matter if you don't get the best light. It's just, you've still got a photo. Sometimes sunsets aren't that good, but take a look at these two photos here. One is in landscape orientation. One is in portrait orientation. And I was able to get these two photos very quickly. Different type of framing, but use the rule of thirds. When I was at the Fotopro factory, when we traveled to China, they gave me this XR95. Now this is a photo of it here. Shoot in landscape, and then I can just rotate around very quickly and get a portrait orientation. A lot of landscape photographers will use an L bracket, but I found the problem with an L bracket. You've got to disconnect it from your tripod, rotate the camera around, put it back on. And these two photos I've just taken, the one in landscape and the one portrait, I used the Case magnetic CPL filter and the Case 6-stop ND filter to give me a 5-second exposure. It didn't look good just as a normal photo without the CPL and the ND filter. With the CPL, which gives me about 3/4 of a stop, plus the 6-stop, is around 7 stops of loss of light. I was able to smooth that water out. The light's gone here, but the tide's coming in so quickly now that I've got a little bit of reflections. And this is where I find that I have to overexpose my image so that I don't have to bring out the shadows too much. I know I've got to be careful on my sky, but here I'm around 3/4 of a stop overexposed. But I've got to think about that. It's telling me I've got a 25-second exposure. So in 25 seconds time, light will change. So I'm making up for that. So let's take a photo. That looks beautiful. I'm looking on the histogram here. I'm just about touching the right. I haven't blown the exposure out. That's why I was saying I was just overexposing it just slightly. Now, this is where the bracket's good. I just swing it around here. There we go. All I have to do is just slightly move my framing just a little bit because I want a different composition. I got 2-second exposure delay here so that I've got the shakes a little bit, so I'm just negating the shaking on the camera. It doesn't matter that the light isn't good here, right? What we say in photography is practice makes perfect. Whether you're shooting wildlife, whether you're shooting landscape, whether you're shooting portraits, practice makes perfect. The light doesn't matter. This is like a sublime image, and there's a nice contrast. The front here is butter smooth. The background's a little bit rough because there's more wind. It's a very nice contrast. I know if you can see, I've got the horizon just splitting the tree. I can't help that. That's just, there's no way of helping that. I'll quickly rotate the image here, move it slightly. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm going to up the ISO because I've lost a little bit of light. There, we'll go up to ISO 320. Now, why am I changing my settings? I was shooting in a landscape. There's a lot more sky. There's a lot more bright area. Here, I've got a lot more darkish foreground. So my settings are going to change. Now, you wouldn't believe how quick the tide is coming. You can see on the video here how quick this tide's coming in. I've had to move up like 3 meters and I can still see the tide is just racing in now. We're losing light. I'm adjusting the CPL filter here. Actually, I can take the CPL filter off and I'll just put a 3-stop ND on. I'll just lock everything down here. We'll take the photo. So I'm at 20 seconds. This image here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm not going to leave it as a 6x4. I'm going to crop it into a panorama, 16:9. There's too much foreground here. Look at it. To me, there's too much foreground. So what do you think? Tell me. You think it looks better as a 6x4 or has a 16:9? I'm going to quickly move much closer. I thought that just moving laterally, just sideways, was going to be enough, but I'm just going to get much closer so I get less foreground. I said I was going to move and get to the right hand side of the tree, but when I quickly framed the tree, it just didn't look good. So I had to come back, and I kid you not, I've got maybe 1 meter. I've got the water just starting to lap me here. But look at this image that I've just taken here. Put my glasses on. I know it's getting a bit dark. This looks so nice. I've just got enough foreground. I'm going to take two sides, 6x4 and 16x9. Let me know in the comments, which one do you think looks best? Now let's see if I quickly flick this around from landscape to portrait orientation, recomposition my image a bit. This looks very well underexposed. I'm on F8. I'm going to come down to F5, bring my ISO up to 400. I'm still at 30 seconds, frame it. In portrait orientation here, instead of having the tree to the side, the tree's so wide, it's symmetric. I've just framed the tree smack back in the middle here. And I think this may be the last photo. I know it's getting very dark on my Sony ZV-1. The ISO's climbing. This looks amazing. I don't have the time to readjust my Sony ZV-1, but what I'm going to quickly do is go all the way down here and try to shoot one right from the base and see if I can get that horizon out of the image behind the tree here. I've just got the horizon just at the bottom of the tree here. I don't know whether it'll look good or not. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll put a link here where you can buy the Fotopro CR95. Now, what did it look like? I think I've blown the exposure out. No, I haven't. I'm right on the edge of the right-hand side here. And even though the horizon isn't perfect, I've just got a little bit of the water. This looks beautiful. Great way to finish off. So here are all the photos here that I took from the first one before you saw me on video, right up to this one here. Let me know in the comments, which photo do you think is the best out of all of these? I'd like to know. If you found value in this video, give it a big thumbs up, stay safe, enjoy your photography. It doesn't matter if the light's gone or we had not good light, doesn't matter at all. It's good fun being out, you know, better than just sitting at home and watching TV. So I'll catch you next time. I did say this was my last shot. Here's one to finish off the video. I'm just going to try and photograph the full moon reflecting onto the Pine River here. So stay safe. I'll see you next time.